A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a solemn announcement, the nation mourns the loss of former U.S. Supreme Court Justice David Souter, who passed away at the age of 85. Souter, a lifelong public servant, served on the Supreme Court for over 19 years, earning a reputation as a judicial moderate and an advocate for humanities and civics education. Chief Justice John Roberts expressed deep sorrow, stating, "Justice David Souter served our court with great distinction for nearly 20 years. He brought uncommon wisdom and kindness to a lifetime of public service." After retiring to his cherished New Hampshire home in 2009, Souter continued to contribute significantly to the judicial branch by sitting regularly on the Court of Appeals for the First Circuit for more than a decade. His contributions will be profoundly missed. Nominated by President George H.W. Bush in 1990, Souter was initially seen as a potential conservative stalwart on the court, filling the seat left by the liberal Justice William Brennan. However, Souter's moderate views often surprised and disappointed many Republicans, who had hoped he would solidify a conservative majority. His judicial philosophy emphasized respect for precedent and a commitment to nuanced interpretations of the Constitution, which led some conservatives to label him a stealth justice. After he authored several notable opinions on contentious issues such as abortion, religion, and property rights. One of Souter's most significant rulings came in 1992 when he joined Justices Sandra Day O'Connor and Anthony Kennedy in reaffirming the right to abortion in the landmark case Planned Parenthood v. Casey. The trio articulated a critical standard for evaluating state restrictions on abortion, stating, "To overrule under fire, in the absence of the most compelling reason to re-examine a watershed decision, would subvert the court's legitimacy beyond any serious question." This decision and others like it solidified Souter's reputation as a defender of individual rights. Souter's advocacy for strict government neutrality in religious matters was also notable. He consistently opposed religious displays in public spaces, arguing during his confirmation hearings that it was appalling for Jewish children to feel excluded from public schools where Christian prayers were recited. In 2005, he authored a pivotal 5-4 decision that blocked Kentucky counties from displaying framed copies of the Ten Commandments in courthouses and public schools, further demonstrating his commitment to maintaining a separation between church and state. His dissent in the 2000 Bush v. Gore case, which effectively decided the presidential election in favor of George W. Bush, showcased his deep concern for the integrity of the electoral process. Souter argued that there is no justification for denying the state the opportunity to try to count all disputed ballots now, emphasizing the importance of ensuring that every vote is counted. Souter's judicial philosophy was rooted in a belief in the historical context of the Constitution. He rejected the strict textualism favored by some of his contemporaries and instead argued that constitutional judging is not a mere combination of fair reading and simple facts. His approach was characterized by a desire to understand the deeper meanings behind the law, often prioritizing justice over ideology. Throughout his career, Souter maintained a commitment to civic education, emphasizing the need for a well-informed citizenry. He believed that civic ignorance was a significant issue in American politics, stating, "I don't believe there is any problem in American politics or American public life which is more significant today than the pervasive civic ignorance of the Constitution of the United States and the structure of government." His advocacy for the humanities and civics education was unwavering, as he sought to inspire future generations to engage with the principles of democracy. Born in Massachusetts and raised in Ware, New Hampshire, Souter's journey to the Supreme Court was marked by academic excellence. He studied philosophy at Harvard University and later attended Oxford University as a Rhodes Scholar before completing his law degree at Harvard. His legal career began in New Hampshire, where he served as Attorney General and later as an associate judge on the state Supreme Court. When President Bush nominated him to the Supreme Court, Souter was relatively unknown outside of his home state, yet he was confirmed by the Senate with a resounding vote of 90-9. After retiring from the bench at the age of 69, Souter returned to his beloved New Hampshire farmhouse, where he embraced a quieter life away from the political spotlight. Despite his low-profile existence, he continued to serve as a judge, hearing over 300 cases for the First Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals and authoring numerous opinions. His friends and former clerks often remarked on his humility and dedication to justice, with many noting that he was a classic frugal Yankee Republican who did not fit the modern mold of the party. In his rare public appearances, Souter expressed a desire to contribute positively to society. He He highlighted the importance of empathy and understanding in judicial decision-making, urging judges to recognize the human aspect of their rulings. President Barack Obama, who succeeded Souter with the appointment of Justice Sonia Sotomayor, praised him as a fair-minded and independent judge who focused on achieving just outcomes rather than adhering to rigid ideological lines. Justice David Souter leaves behind a legacy of moderation, compassion, and a steadfast commitment to the principles of democracy. His contributions to the Supreme Court and his advocacy for the humanities will continue to inspire future generations of judges and citizens alike. As we remember Justice Souter, we honor a life dedicated to public service in the pursuit of justice for all. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.